Hey guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? So, yeah, I'm still kind of getting ready and prepared for my second take of Bohemian Rhapsody. Also, Dal now wants me to do Too Much Time on My Hands by Styx, so I'm going to do that eventually. But not more importantly than doing another take of Bohemian Rhapsody. And I've enjoyed doing songs more and more lately. I enjoyed doing Black Dog, and I enjoyed doing Harder Than Your Husband by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Even though, well, first let me talk about Black Dog. I really enjoyed Black Dog. I just, um, I just, I let, I pause more. I groove. I'm more patient with the beat. It's more easy to rush the beat than to be too late with a beat. So if you're patient, you usually end up on the right side of things. And there's one part in Black Dog that I do that I considered that I messed up the song, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just stop, but I didn't. I paused just long enough not to stop and just kept playing, and I think it actually worked. It actually worked to just be patient and let the time come, pass, and then go into it. But the thing about Harder Than Your Husband was I'm just transparent with you guys. The progressions, some of the progressions in that were actually new to me. At least the particulars of the progression, and also very beautiful to me. And I got captivated by the beauty of the song a couple times and lost track of what I was playing because I was listening more than I was playing because it's so beautiful, the chords I was playing. And I would start listening to it and not and then lose track of where I'm actually supposed to be playing. And it happened in 2 different takes. Finally, on the third take, I at least didn't mess up so bad. I had to take it, and stop and do another one. But yeah, I enjoy the beauty of that progression and the cool. There's 2 ways of taking that. I'll be harder than your husband, and that could mean sexually, or it could mean harder than your husband to get along with, which literally is the way the line goes at one point. So I think it's funny that duality, sense of humor that Frank put in that, and kind of had that in a lot of his, the ironic sense of humor. I kind of think is cool. Frank had that, I think. So there's that. And now about I want to rant a little bit more about the God thing. Main reason I started this live right here, but the music is important right now too. I want to make it clear to everyone that I'm only guilty of having an open mind, because even if Jesus did exist, there's another interpretation called the Gnostic view. It's possibly true. That's a rhyme. I'm not one to say if it's true or not. I'm not big enough and smart enough and God enough to know whether the Gnostic view is correct or the traditional view is correct. But I'm open-minded enough to accept that either might be correct. And so I'm very careful and cautious and likely not to delve into the traditional view that far. Even though I got an insight from God, I think, about my Jesus theory, that's nice. But then again, I never claimed salvation. Salvation is a very tricky, treacherous, landmine-ish territory to me. I don't want to be saved. I mean, it's nice to have relations. I mean, realizations from God, and that's cool. And if that someday leads me to want to be saved or whatever, and I can't stop that, I guess, if that's what's going to happen. But it's not where I'm at right now, and it's not where I plan on being. Salvation is too much to ask, because it just means I have to give up everything. It means I have to do everything. But giving up stuff is still doing something. The fallacy of Joe Holden's statement that Christianity is the only religion where you have to do nothing is blatant to me. Well, it's the only religion where you have to do everything too. You have to give up everything pleasurable in your life, at least for me. And I'm not willing to do that to be saved. I'm just not. And I may never be, and I hope I'll never be, but I'm at least not right now. I'm not giving up my YouTube channel. And I know already that missionaries have to be internet free, have to give up the internet. I'm not doing that for anything, salvation or anything else. And as far as my wild side, I'm not giving that up. If I give up my wild side, I've said this, I actually said this at an elders meeting, what I'm about to say. If I give up my wild side, I'd eventually kill myself probably. And then I would go to hell for killing myself, because that's a sin too. And I don't want to kill myself. If I want to go to hell, and I don't want to go to hell for killing myself. So I'm not giving up my wild side, and I'm not giving up my YouTube channel. I'm not giving up my internet. Just not going to do it. However, that doesn't make the Gnostic view right. It just means that even if the Gnostic view is wrong and the traditional view is right, I choose not to be saved. However, that's if the traditional view is correct. The Gnostic view may be correct, and the salvation may not be the point. Study the Gnostic view to know what that is. The Gnostics don't believe in the necessity for salvation. They believe the necessity is only to be free of the cycle of birth and death that we call incarnation. That itself is a trap already, and the way David Icke puts it, great conspiracy theorist, from what I've read, is that going into the white light can be either heaven or it could be a trap. Like flies go to light, right? Flies are ugly insects that gravitate to light. The David Ickean view is that when you go down the tunnel of light, if you choose to go down that tunnel, you get sucked back into the earth and get reborn again, and that's the trap. But according to Christianity, that white light is heaven. So take your best pick when you die and make the best choice you can, and hopefully make the right one, not the wrong one. And I don't know which one of those is true anyway. And right now, if I were to die, I'm just as likely to avoid that light and for fear that it's reincarnation as I am to go toward it thinking it's heaven. So let's go to brass tacks. Let's just be completely transparent with ourselves and honest. The traditional Christian story is very dark, very disturbing, very, very, very serious, very, very depressing. I grew up with it. I know that for me that's true. And I know it's true as much as, well, I don't want to go on. It is a very depressing, dark story. It tells only of suffering and the only way to give up. It tells only of suffering, punishment, and depriving yourself of anything else, such as pleasure. Get that? I'm supposed to feel punished, scared, in fear, think I'm possibly going to go to hell. But then the only way out of that is to give up all my pleasures and have a boring life that and for my case, I might kill myself if I do that. Not because I have to, because I would have no reason to live. If I'm not enjoying this life, why am I here? So it's a bunch of rocks between a rock and a hard place, and it's a bunch of negative, very dark themes in the traditional view of Christianity. Whereas the Gnostic view is very bright and liberating, but I don't know if that view is correct, do I? The traditional view may be right, it may be wrong. If it's right, then it's depressing, and the depressingness is real. If it's wrong, then it's a bright side to it. Depressingness is an illusion. But either way, I choose to not be saved. If the Gnostics are right, I should. Yeah, hey, that's great. If the traditional view is right, I don't want to be saved. I just don't. I want to do good, and I want to have good energy, and I want to be. And what I do with myself and my energy is important to me, and I care about it. But I'm not going to sell out Shirtless Guy and sell out all my pleasures in this world, everything that's good about this life to me, just to be saved after I die. It's not worth it. And furthermore, it may be an illusion. It may not even be true. Love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.